Good morning. Welcome. Today is Sunday, October 10th. Let's set our intentions saying this for Immeasurables Prayer. May all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all beings not be separated from happiness that has never known suffering. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment, anger, and aversion. This is Lama Abao of the Garchen Buddhist Institute, one of the heart sons of our teacher Garchen Rinpoche. He has generously come to give all of us the Bodhisattva Vows, which is a tremendous opportunity. We're very grateful to have you. Thank you very much for being here today. I am going to read a short teaching by Dilgo Khyentse Rinpoche on this topic. And then Victoria is going to read something that Lama wrote regarding these vows. And then what will happen is he will be reading the vows in Tibetan in short sentences, and you'll repeat to the best of your ability in Tibetan. Sometimes phonetically it's not the easiest language, but just keep your intention on taking the vow. Don't worry about being exact. So he'll say sentence by sentence, you'll repeat, and then we're going to do it in English as well. And Victoria will read it in English. First, I'll just read this. This is, once again, by Dilgo Khyentse Rinpoche. 1 second, let me just adjust this screen and get a little wider shot. Okay, so the attitude of a bodhisattva must be extremely vast, constantly keeping in mind the infinity of beings and the wish to establish them all in Buddhahood. If your mind is vast, the power of your prayers is unlimited too. If your mind is narrow and rigid, your accumulation of merit and the purification of your obscurations will also be very limited. Do not let yourself be discouraged by such thoughts as it not being worth dedicating what you see as your miserable accumulation of merit, as it could hardly benefit anyone, or by the idea that for you helping others is just talk, since you will never really be able to benefit them. If you keep your mind open and vast, the effectiveness of your bodhicitta will increase, and so too will the benefit and merit of all your words and deeds. In your daily life and practice, you must keep developing the excellent mind of enlightenment. You will find inspiration in the quintessential profound prayers of the Bodhisattvas found in the ocean-like collection of scripture, such as, may the bodhicitta precious and sublime arise where it has not yet come to be, and where it has arisen, may it never fail, but grow and flourish ever more and more. And may all beings find happiness. May all the lower realms be emptied forever. May all the Bodhisattvas' prayers be perfectly accomplished. Wherever the sky ends, there ends the number of beings. Wherever beings' destinies and emotions end, only there end my prayers. The three supreme points include the whole practice and attitude of the Mahayana. That is why the teachers expound them over and over again. But hearing them explained is not enough. You must assimilate and integrate them in your being. Day after day, check whether you are really acting in accord with them, and if not, feel regret. Try to correct yourself. Do not allow your mind to become distracted and just follow its inclinations. If you become aware that you have succeeded to some extent in blending your mind with the Dharma, dedicate the merit to all beings and aspire to do so more and more. If you constantly check your defects, eradicate those you already have and prevent new ones from taking root, and at the same time try to constantly increase your positive qualities by allowing new ones to arise. And increasing those you already have, you will gradually progress along the 5 paths and levels which lead to Buddhahood: the path of accumulating, the path of joining, the path of seeing, the path of meditation, and the path beyond learning. That's by Dilgo Khyentse Rinpoche, and the book is called The Heart of Compassion. We also hopefully will have some time after the vows for questions. So at some point, if you want to use the Q&A function to ask questions, and we'll see if we can, or Lama can answer any of those.
Okay, good morning, everybody. Thank you enjoying and online. Now, Victoria, he read yesterday. We prepare for say something. She will read for you guys. Okay, thank you.
So Abao Lama very kindly agreed to give us the Bodhisattva Vows, which is an enormous blessing. And he wrote some text that I will read to you guys. So this is from Abao Lama himself. The essence of the Buddha's 84,000 teachings is the two truths, relative and ultimate truth. First, we need to understand and practice the relative truth, which means we have to understand that because of our countless lives, all sentient beings have been our kind mothers. All sentient beings have love for their children. Not only human beings, but animals and all other sentient beings have that love for their children. This is the meaning of the relative truth. We all have the essence of love. But our love is very conditioned and limited. We only love what is ours, and what we consider as not ours, not our children, not our parents, we have no love for them. Abao Lama says that the primordial seed of love is the essence that we all have. We should plant this seed of love, not into a small vessel, but into a large open field, to cultivate a vast forest of love, as opposed to a tiny indoor plant in a small container. This way, a love can arise in us for all sentient beings, our mothers. In Buddhism, we call this level of love, this level of mind, as the awakened mind, the mind of enlightenment. This is the Bodhisattva mind. This is what we need to cultivate. If you have this mind of love, all your ordinary activity, eating, sleeping, walking, talking, becomes a great benefit to you and to all others. When you cultivate the Bodhisattva mind, the love for all sentient beings, you have love for all sentient beings, and you can never bring harm to them because your mind is set on love. But if you don't have this kind of love and compassion, and you do not cultivate the Bodhisattva mind, even if you do a lot of practice, you study a lot of Dharma, you read many books, you try to help others, the benefit will be very, very limited. And Michael will read from the 37 Bodhisattva Practices, which is one of our heart daily practices, number 11.
37 Bodhisattva Practices by Gulchu Togme Zangpo. Number 11. All suffering without exception comes from wishing for one's own happiness. The perfect Buddhas arise from the altruistic mind. Therefore, completely exchanging one's own happiness for the suffering of others is the Bodhisattva's practice.
The Buddhas have attained enlightenment because their mind is set on benefiting others with love and compassion. That is wisdom and compassion. While we remain in samsara due to our grasping and attachment at the self, and we suffer as a result of our selfishness and disattachment. If we wish to be liberated from samsara, and we wish to liberate all sentient beings, practicing the Bodhisattva vow, cultivating the Bodhisattva mind is of extreme importance. Bodhisattvas bring the wisdom mind of compassion equally to all, just like the sun. The sun equally shines on all without judging, discriminating, or rejecting. All beings, human and non-human, are equally warmed and nurtured by the sun, just like the mind of Bodhisattvas and their great compassionate love nurtures and warms and benefits all. The practice itself, what you do is, in the morning upon arising, you set your intention to benefit all sentient beings. During the day, be aware of your action. Be guided and illuminated by that intention, the Bodhisattva mind. At night time, have a short session, examine what you've done through the day, and if you find that some of your actions were not perfect conduct, your mind let the Bodhisattva intention slip. At that time, you confess to the Buddhas and you vow to repair that action so that tomorrow your conduct can be better, can be more perfect. Until that time, we practice that way. And it doesn't matter, Abao Lama says, it doesn't matter what religious system you hold to be true. If you have loving compassion, a good heart, an open mind, you will always be happier. Your family and friends will love you, and you will feel love from them in return. You will love them, and you will feel love from them in return. You will be healthy, and your life will be harmonious and long, because you will not be creating obstacles due to afflicted mind. On the other hand, if you are selfish and close-minded, you will feel that so many are your enemies, because in your mind you have anger and fear. Your life will be difficult and short, probably as a result of that. You will have obstacles to health and to happiness. The world around you will be difficult and challenging. Most likely you will have illnesses that are caused by negative energy, which arises as the afflicted mind and negative thoughts. Your inner state of mind creates your outer world, creates your connection at home, at work, and your health is also influenced by it directly. So the benefits of the Bodhisattva mind are inconceivable. And now Abao Lama will give us refuge vows. We will repeat after him when he says.
Okay. First, everybody, visualization in the Buddha Shakyamuni and in the space. Buddha Shakyamuni. Okay.
Visualize Buddha Shakyamuni in space in front of you for this portion of taking the vows.
Tamje dana sabjada singma la some bada lan nanya bendra yaran yen jamburne jurje. Can you read this?
May the entire earth become a pure place, devoid of barren land, even like the palm of a hand, the color of lapis lazuli and naturally smooth.
Malu senjin gunje gunjuraje dude bunje mzen jonze nguna malu jibgin jindra jomden korje nandar so.
Protector of all sentient beings without exception, deity who destroys horrible demons together with their host, knower of all things without exception, conqueror, please come in this place together with your retinue. Whatever slight virtue I have accumulated through prostration, offering, confession, rejoicing, beseeching, and requesting, I dedicate it all for the sake of complete enlightenment.
Okay, everybody do it together, hand, and please repeat after me, okay? Goncho,
Goncho,
Samla,
Samla,
Dagyamche,
Dagyamche,
Degba,
Degpa,
Mege,
Mege,
Sosorsha,
Sosorsha,
Drove,
Drove,
Gela,
Gela,
Jeyerang,
Jeyerang,
Chanje,
Chanje,
Chanchuk,
Chanchuk,
Yijizong,
Yijisung,
Sanje,
Sanje,
Chudang,
Chudang,
Somchola,
Sanchola,
Sanchuk,
Sancho,
Pardo,
Pardo,
Dagyamche,
Dagyamche,
Rangi,
Rangi,
Tuni,
Tunyi,
Rabdrupsar,
Rajose,
Sanchuk,
Sancho,
Samne,
Samne,
Jibarje,
Jibarje,
Sanchuk,
Sancho,
Choke,
Choge,
Samne,
Sanne,
Jine,
Chijine,
Semji,
Senche,
Tamje,
Tamje,
Dake,
Dage,
Drundanyer,
Drojonye,
Sanchuk,
Sancho,
Chunchuk,
Chuncho,
Yeong,
Yeong,
Jebarje,
Chebarje,
Drola,
Drola,
Pensar,
Ense,
Sanje,
Sanje,
Rabarsho.
Jabosho.
3 times English. Please repeat after Victoria.
I take refuge
I take refuge
in the three jewels
in the three jewels
and reveal each
and reveal each
and every wrongdoing
and every wrongdoing
and unvirtuous action.
and unvirtuous action.
I rejoice
I rejoice
in the virtues
in the virtues
of all
of
of all
wayfaring beings
wayfaring beings,
and apprehend
and apprehend
the enlightened mind
the enlightened mind
of the Buddhas.
of the Buddhas.
In the Buddha,
In the Buddha,
Dharma,
Dharma,
and the Supreme Assembly,
and the Supreme Assembly,
I take refuge
I take refuge
until attaining
until attaining
enlightenment.
enlightenment,
In order
in order
to accomplish
to accomplish
the supreme
the supreme
twofold purpose
twofold purpose
of others and
Of
myself.
of others and myself.
I generate bodhicitta,
I generate bodhicitta,
having given rise to
having given rise to
the mind of supreme enlightenment.
the mind of supreme enlightenment.
I welcome
I welcome
all sentient beings
all sentient beings
engaging in
engaging in
pleasing
pleasing
Supreme Bodhisattva's conduct.
Supreme Bodhisattva's conduct.
May I accomplish
May I accomplish
enlightenment
enlightenment
for the benefit
for the benefit
of wayfaring beings.
of wayfaring beings.
And one more time. I take refuge
I take refuge
in the three jewels
in the three jewels
and reveal
and reveal
each and every
each and every
wrongdoing
wrongdoing
and unvirtuous action.
and unvirtuous action.
I rejoice
I rejoice
in the virtues
in the virtues
of all wayfaring beings
of all wayfaring beings
and apprehend
and apprehend
the enlightened mind
the enlightened mind
of the Buddhas.
of the Buddhas.
In the Buddha,
In the Buddha,
Dharma,
Dharma,
and the Supreme Assembly,
and the Supreme Assembly,
I take refuge
I take refuge
until attaining enlightenment.
until attaining enlightenment.
In order to accomplish
In order to accomplish
the supreme twofold
the supreme twofold
purpose of others and myself,
purpose of others and myself,
I generate bodhicitta,
I generate bodhicitta,
having given rise to
having given rise to
the mind of supreme enlightenment.
the mind of supreme enlightenment.
I welcome
I welcome
all sentient beings
all sentient beings
engaging in pleasing
engaging in pleasing
Supreme Bodhisattva's conduct.
Supreme Bodhisattva's conduct.
May I
May I
accomplish enlightenment
accomplish enlightenment
for the benefit
for the benefit
of wayfaring beings.
of wayfaring beings.
Please repeat after me. Dala,
Dala,
Damvar,
Dhamma,
Chipedra,
Jivadra,
Nubar,
Nuvar,
Chipe,
Jipe,
Gate,
Yet,
Tarpatang,
Tapatam,
Tamchen Chimpe,
Tamchen Chempe,
Pardo Chubar,
Pado Chupa,
Sipa,
Sipa,
Tamche Chi,
Tamcheche,
So Sepe,
Sochepe,
Manangkadang,
Manankodam,
Nyampe Semchi,
Nyampen Senche,
Tamche,
Tamche,
Deva Dandin,
Deva Chande,
Donghar Dangtar,
Dongwan Chantar,
Nyurd,
Yurda,
Lana Mebar,
Lana Mepa,
Yang Dagbar,
Yan Tokba,
Zoba Sanje,
Zopa Sanje,
Rinpoche,
Rinpoche,
Tobar Jia.
Topacha.
Please repeat in English.
3 times.
I will cause
I will cause
all mother sentient beings,
all mother sentient beings,
infinite as space,
infinite as space,
particularly
particularly
enemies who despise me,
enemies who despise me,
obstructors who do harm,
obstructors who do harm,
and those
and those
who hinder liberation
who hinder liberation
and omniscience,
and omniscience,
to have happiness,
to have happiness,
be free from suffering,
be free from suffering,
and swiftly
and swiftly
attain precious,
attain precious,
unsurpassed,
unsurpassed,
perfectly complete
perfectly complete
enlightenment.
enlightenment.
I will cause
I will cause
all mother sentient beings,
all mother sentient beings,
infinite as space,
infinite as space,
particularly enemies
particularly enemies
who despise
who
me,
despise me,
obstructors
obstructors
who do harm,
who do harm,
and those who hinder
and those who hinder
liberation and omniscience,
liberation and omniscience,
to have happiness,
to have happiness,
be free from suffering,
be free from suffering,
and swiftly attain.
and swiftly attain.
Precious, unsurpassed.
Precious, unsurpassed.
Perfectly complete enlightenment.
Perfectly complete enlightenment.
Then, Teye,
Keye,
Chidu,
Chidu,
Sangma Jeche,
Sama Jeche,
Pardu,
Pardu,
Lunga,
Lunga,
Yesu,
Yesum,
Devalakor,
Devalakor,
Mashe,
Mashe,
Pardu,
Pardu,
Lunga,
Lungna,
Yesu,
Yesu,
Devalakor,
Devalakor,
Tu Terene,
Tutenene,
Zongde,
Zongde,
Nyema,
Nyema,
Sangta Samje,
Samta Sanje,
Pardu,
Pardo,
Lunga,
Lungna,
Yesu,
Yesum,
Devalakor.
Devalakor.
For that purpose,
For that purpose,
I will apply
I will apply
body, speech, and mind
body, speech, and mind
to virtue
to virtue
until enlightenment
until enlightenment
is attained.
is attained.
Until death,
Until death,
I will apply
I will apply
body,
body,
speech, and mind
speech, and mind
to virtue.
to virtue.
From now
From now
until this time tomorrow,
until this time tomorrow,
I will apply
I will apply
body, speech, and mind
body, speech, and mind
to virtue.
to virtue.
For that purpose,
For that purpose,
I will apply
I will apply
body, speech, and mind
body, speech, and mind
to virtue
to virtue
until enlightenment
until enlightenment
is attained.
is attained.
Until death,
Until death,
I will apply
I will apply
body, speech, and mind
body, speech, and mind
to virtue.
to virtue.
From now
From now
until this time tomorrow,
until this time tomorrow,
I will apply
I will apply
body, speech, and mind
body, speech, and mind
to virtue.
to virtue.
Please repeat me. Jedar,
Shedar,
Munje,
Wenche,
Devsheki,
Desheke,
Chanchok,
Jancho,
Togne,
Tone,
Jibadar,
Jepadar,
Sanchok,
Jancho,
Sempe,
Sempe,
La Pala,
La Pala,
Teda,
Teda,
Rengi,
Renje,
Nebadar,
Nepadar,
Devi,
Devi,
Rola,
Drola,
Pendunta,
Tendonte,
Sanchok,
Sancho,
Sene,
Sene,
Jijina,
Jejena,
Devi,
Dege,
Tene,
Tene,
La Pala,
La Pala,
Ramba,
Ramba,
Yende,
Yento,
La Barje.
La Barje.
Just as those
Just as those
gone to bliss
gone to bliss
in former times
in former times
gave rise
gave rise
to the mind of enlightenment
to the mind of enlightenment
and maintained
and maintained
the progressive training
progressive training
of the Bodhisattvas
of the Bodhisattvas.
in a like manner,
In a like manner,
I,
I,
for the benefit of wayfaring beings,
for the benefit of wayfaring beings,
give rise
give rise
to bodhicitta
to bodhicitta
and thus engage
and thus engage
progressively in the trainings.
progressively in the trainings.
Just as those
Just as those
gone to bliss
gone to bliss
in the former times
in the former times
gave rise
gave rise
to the mind of enlightenment
to the mind of enlightenment
and maintained
the progressive
trainings of the Bodhisattvas
trainings of the Bodhisattvas.
in the like manner,
In the like manner,
I,
I,
for the benefit of wayfaring beings,
for the benefit of wayfaring beings,
give rise
give rise
to bodhicitta
to bodhicitta
and thus engage
and thus engage progressively
in the trainings.
in the trainings.
Okay, now as Tabino, the times the pink got Bodhisattva vows. Okay, can you say?
When Abao Lama says Tabieno, that means we have received the complete Bodhisattva vow. So please think that the
Okay.
blessing.
Tabino. You need to say.
Tabieno.
Tabieno. This is the method.
This is the method.
Okay. Now they got it, Bodhisattva vows. Then
Abao Lama is going to recite in Tibetan a prayer.
yeah, and himself and be happy, something like this. Right?
Rejoice in the receiving of the Bodhisattva vow. Visualize yourself as a Bodhisattva who vows to have conduct of the Bodhisattva, wisdom, mind, and compassion, love and compassion. And Abao Lama is going to recite a prayer that comes at the end of the Bodhisattva vow.
Tengdu, Dakse, Revayu, Meye, Sipa, Lekpartop, Tereng, Sanje, Reksechi, Sanje, Seso, Tachordo. Just one time.
Now my lives will be fruitful, having obtained well a human existence. I have today taken birth in the lineage of the Buddhas and have now become a Bodhisattva.
Please repeat me. Dane, Daki, Jena Jang, Regdan, Tumpe, Lezante, Jumi, Zumpe, Regdala, Nyokbar, Major, Tedarja. Okay.
Now, whatever I do, I will engage in actions that accord with this lineage. I will act so as not to sully this flawless noble lineage.
Okay. Please repeat me. Daki, Tereng, Jopa, Tamche, Jimar, Roa, Deshik, Midang, Pardo, Dela, Runda, Persinche, Lada, Lami, Lasso, Gavarje.
Today, in the presence of all the protectors, I have called wayfaring beings to realize their enlightened potential. Until then, in order to please beings, I invite them as guests. Thus you gods, demigods, and all others, rejoice.
Okay. Now just you repeat, you read. Repeat.
By the virtues accumulated in samsara and nirvana, in the three times, and by the intrinsic virtue, may Jigten Gumpo, intention, the body of Vajradhara, that is inseparable, union of the two truths, in the mandala of primordial co-emergent mind, be realized. May precious supreme Bodhicitta arise in whom it has not been generated. May that which has been generated not decline, but ever further increase. May the Bodhisattvas practice virtue with exalted mind, seeking the welfare of beings. May whatever the protectors wish be accomplished in sentient beings. Not like in bodhicitta,
not like in bodhicitta.
may beings
May beings
be inclined
be inclined
to the bodhisattva's conduct.
to the Bodhisattva's conduct.
May I be held
May I be held
by the Buddha's compassion,
by the Buddha's compassion,
and may even
and may even
obstructing activity
obstructing activity
be dispelled.
be dispelled.
In all my rebirths,
In all my rebirths,
may I never
may I never
be separated
be separated
from sublime gurus,
from sublime gurus,
and always enjoy
and always enjoy
the glory of Dharma,
the glory of Dharma,
having completely perfected
having completely perfected
the qualities and the stages
the qualities and the stages
and paths.
and paths.
May I swiftly
May I swiftly
attain
attain
the state of Vajradhara.
the state of Bodhisattva.
May all aspiration prayers
May all aspiration prayers
for the purpose of wayfaring beings
for the purpose of wayfaring beings
that have been made
that have been made
from great
from great
beneficent Vajradhara
beneficent Vajradhara
on down to the king root, kind root,
on down to the kind root,
Lama,
Lama,
on up,
on up,
be swiftly accomplished.
is swiftly accomplished.
Through the virtuous
Through the virtuous
accumulations
accumulations
in the past, present, and future
in the past, present, and future,
by myself
by myself
and all beings
and all beings,
in samsara and nirvana,
in samsara nirvana,
and through this intrinsic basis of virtue,
and through this intrinsic basis of virtue,
may all sentient beings
may all sentient beings
and I swiftly attain
swiftly attain
precious,
precious
perfectly complete enlightenment.
enlightenment.
May the teachings
May the teachings
of the Drigungpa
of the Drigungpa,
Ratna Shri,
Ratna Shri,
the master of interdependent abiding,
the master of interdependent abiding,
the omniscient Lord of Dharma,
the omniscient Lord of Dharma,
who sees all objects
who sees all objects
of knowledge, be upheld
be upheld
through teaching,
through teaching,
practice,
practice,
learning,
learning,
reflection,
reflection,
and meditation
and meditation
until the end of cyclic existence.
until the end of cyclic existence.
Okay, now I have some. Can you read?
Yes, now that we've received the vow, the Bodhisattva vow, the most precious thing anyone can receive in this life, Abao Lama gives us a little bit advice on practice. So, Abao Lama asks that you diligently practice compassion and patience. Start by practicing your closest circles. Practice with people near you, your relations, your siblings, your parents, your children, your neighbors. There is no pointing in cultivating a vast view of loving compassion to all sentient beings if you cannot practice love to your brother, father, neighbors, or children. Practicing the Bodhisattva vow is not easy. We need to cultivate and maintain the right view at all times. Sometimes when we help someone, we benefit them. Because of their strong force of their mental affliction, such as hate or jealousy, they may try to harm us in return or hate us. At that time, we have to recall the Bodhisattva vow very clearly. We continue to love them while understanding that they are under the influence of strong affliction. Michael will read number 16 from the 37 Bodhisattva Practices.
37 Bodhisattva Practices by Golchu Togme Zampo. Number 16. Even if someone for whom one has cared as lovingly as one's own child regards one as an enemy, to cherish that person as dearly as a mother does an ailing child is the Bodhisattva's practice.
Abao Lama says that he is very fortunate. He feels very fortunate to bestow the Bodhisattva vow on all of us today. He urges us to never separate from our good heart, loving compassion, which is the essence of the Bodhisattva vow. So wherever we go, whatever we do, we must bring that mind with us always. And always do everything from a good heart and maintain our vow of compassion, loving kindness. That is the Bodhisattva way.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Lama,
so much
for doing this, for your generosity and kindness today. We have see if we have maybe some questions from anybody. Thank you, Lama. Is the English text of what we just recited available anywhere?
Can they find the English anywhere, the Bodhisattva Vow?
I think so, they can find it.
We'll try to get a link for you guys. Also very important, the 37 Bodhisattva practices. This is a hard practice that we all do. We'll try to get a link for you as well for that.
Yeah,
This is the 37 practices, 37 Bodhisattva practices by Gulchu Togme Zangpo. This is available at the Garchen Buddhist Institute website, I believe.
Yes, if you go to practice materials at Garchen, you do Garchen Institute practice materials, you will get to the site where you can download the 37 practices.
Another good book that's very much related to this and Bodhisattva is the Bodhisattva Way of Life, the Bodhicharyavatara by Shanti Deva. That's a classic Buddhist, Tibetan Buddhist text.
Very good translation by Ellen and Vesna Wallace.
Vesna Wallace, who's been a guest on our class twice already. She does a translation with her husband Alan of this very important Buddhist scripture, Buddhist text. Someone asked, what's the book I mentioned at the beginning? This Dilgo Khyentse Rinpoche. Nick, you may have this somewhere. Dilgo Khyentse Rinpoche, the name of the book is...
Enlightened, Heart of Enlightenment.
Heart of Compassion. The Heart of Compassion. Dilgo Khyentse Rinpoche. Ben asked, my wife and I just had our first child. It's magic, but he doesn't like to sleep. I know that when I'm this tired, it's more important to meditate, but I find it takes more effort to get to the pillow. Any thoughts or advice? Besides, get to the pillow. Somehow.
How do you meditate, Abao, when you're tired? What do you do?
Tired.
When you're very tired.
Tired, then sleeping.
Sometimes sleep is, you have to take care of yourself, right? And sleep and get rest.
Yeah.
And, it's a question of finding discipline. No, I mean, as your life changes, different things come in your life. You have to adapt your discipline and your schedule and your routines and find different ways to be regular about meditation and things, no?
But I think very important what Abba Lama said to us after we've received the practice, that we should practice compassion with patience. So when we're tired, we have to really watch our mind not to lose our patience, so that we do not slip our Bodhisattva vows, so that we do not allow our love to decline. Patience is very important, right, Lama?
Yeah, exactly.
If we're patient, we can keep our love. If we become impatient, it's very easy to slip into the afflictive mind.
As Buddhists, it seems that answering such questions as how was the world created, who created the world, are of little importance. Am I correct in this assessment?
What do you think?
Is it important to think about, elaborate on who created the world? How did all things, phenomenal things, come to be? Is it important for practitioners like us, Dharma practitioners?
I don't understand that, really.
Is it important for us to think about how all things arise?
How things rise?
Yeah, how they come to be.
Come to this world?
Yes. Is it important for us to think about it for meditation or not?
Think about this for.
Yes.
Do meditate that times we need things like this?
Yes. Do we need to, or do we not need to think about these things?
Do meditation times no need think like this? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, it's not. It's of little importance, basically, because it's definitely not a who, and Buddhism is very much in line with physics on a lot of these kind of things about, like the Big Bang, although Buddhists would probably more say there have been an infinite number of Big Bangs and will be an infinite. There was and will be, in both directions, past, present, future, all three directions, really, or times, that it would, there's an infinite number. Everything's impermanent. The universe arises and expands and exists and then is destroyed and disintegrates, and then there'll be another one that arises. Or maybe there's infinite number of these happening at all time. It's not a who. Buddha was not an omniscient creator being that created the universe and all things. So that's not. It's very different than other religions. With a creation story and stuff like that.
And if I may add quickly, I think the importance of Buddhist practice is twofold: bringing down the afflictive negative emotions and rising the love and compassion, taming the mind. Taming the mind means not acting on afflictive emotions, but acting out of love and wisdom and compassion. Compassion and love are the wisdom aspect mind of the Bodhisattvas. That's why we've received the vow. So really focusing in meditation on that, cultivating the big open mind with the big heart with love.
What do you do when you slip up? Well, we kind of addressed that, like in the, you spoke about in the morning you do.
You take the vow to have good intention for the whole day. You maintain that intention through the day. You check yourself every so often. At nighttime, you check, you go through the whole day. And Abba Lama said, he gave us the practice in 3 stages: morning, day, and nighttime. Evening time, you check yourself. You see if your intention, if your actions were in line with the Bodhisattva vow. If they were not, you do a confession. You say, you vow, I will not do this again. And
do you say that towards anyone in particular, Buddha or?
Yeah, of course. You always address to your guru and to the Buddhas. And you vow not to repeat these mistakes. You vow to have a bigger heart, better heart, and to be more aware so that you don't slip into negative behavior, because that's what a slip is.
But we will slip up. That's
we're
just by taking these vows does not make us enlightened, obviously. But it's the path.
Yes, and we've made connections, much stronger connections to the Buddha's enlightened body, speech, and mind today. So this is the blessing of receiving this vow today.
Is the Bodhisattva vow just as applicable to someone who isn't a practicing Buddhist?
That's what Abba Lama said to us after we took the vow. He said, it doesn't matter what religion you practice. The text that I read to you are Abba Lama's words. He said, it doesn't matter what religion you practice. Having an open mind and a heart of love and compassion goes with any kind of view. That is the view. That is the essence, whether you call it Buddhist or something else. That is the essence of traversing the path toward enlightenment.
Could it be a wise practice to recognize that all phenomena arises and returns to the emptiness, including the Big Bang? It's a good practice to recognize not that it arises and returns, that all phenomena is empty, or that's a good practice as well. And what you ask, arises and returns to emptiness. Sure.
Yeah, arises and returns to emptiness is what we call impermanence in Buddhism. So yes, that's the impermanence is toward the relative truth. Thinking about the essence in terms of emptiness is more. Kabbalah.
Yeah.
Arises, stays, and returns, dissolves is the relative truth, and that always mind and all phenomena, the emptiness of self and phenomena. That's the ultimate. The ultimate view.
Not a question, but thank you, Abu Lama. Thank you, Abu Lama, sending love. Please recommend best practice to detach from ego and open my compassion. Buddhism, basically.
The best way to not be selfish and to have to practice more open heart.
Open heart. 37 books.
37 practices of Bodhisattva is a good way. Now that
Yeah.
you're all Bodhisattvas,
Yeah.
have vowed to be
Also,
Bodhisattva.
more details, Shanti Deva.
More detail in the book, Guide to the Bodhisattva Way of Life by Shanti Deva.
By Shanti Deva.
Shanti Deva.
Yes, and the 37 Bodhisattva practices, as I said, you can download from the Garchen Institute materials, practice materials, that's free. And the Bodhicharya Avatara, the Bodhisattva's Way of Life, you can buy that, you know. There are many translations that are available.
Okay. Any more questions? I think we may have covered everyone. Much appreciation. Gratitude, love to Lama Abu. Heartfelt thanks to Lama Abu for bestowing the vows today. Going once, going twice, going 3 times. Any last questions before we wrap up here? Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Okay.
Now you teach.
You
what?
No, teach.
Now you teach.
Teach? Maybe we'll meditate for 9 minutes. How's that?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Now that we're all bodhisattvas, we can meditate together. I'm
Now-
going to time us.
Yeah.
For 9 minutes we meditate,
Yeah.
Abu. Okay.
Yeah. Rest mind.
Rest the mind.
Rest body and mind.
Okay. Let's see if any last minute questions came. Okay. We have one question came at the end. My father is very sick, deathly sick. I want to ask Lama Abao how best to support him.
He's very sick, right?
Yes,
His
what to
father.
do, what to do, how to practice.
Practice, it's just Buddhism. I don't know. Anyway, praying, medicine Buddha, Dara, or Vajrasattva.
So Abao Lama is recommending 3 practices: medicine Buddha, Tara, and Vajrasattva. You can also download these texts from the Garchen Institute practice materials. Definitely medicine Buddha, praying to medicine Buddha can alleviate a lot of suffering that are connected to health obstacles and suffering.
We are sick. This is a negative karma, right? We need purification. Purification.
Sickness is a karmic obstacle, something that arises in conjunction with our karma, so it has to be purified. And praying to medicine Buddha to dispel physical obscurations, physical difficulties, medicine Buddha practice, medicine Buddha prayers. You should download them from the Institute practice materials.
You can also order a puja, which is like a prayer cycle that the monks would do. There's a monastery in Nepal called Kopan, Kopan. And you go to their website, they make it very easy to order medicine Buddha puja, specific types of puja. Will this session be available to hear, re-watch and hear? Yes, on YouTube, Michael Imperioli Meditation, YouTube. Okay, Abu Lama, thank you very much for your kindness and generosity for offering this today. It's very, the students are very, very, if I may speak for them, they're very, very grateful. We all are very, very grateful that you
Thank you.
That you
Thank
came
you,
and did
Michael.
this. Thank you, Victoria.
I'm really happy to this
Thank you.
opportunity.
And Victoria and Nick for your
Thank
kindness.
you.
And generosity, Nick Solidago, our producer, without whom this would not be possible. And we will see you next week. Thank you.
Blessings.